Thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of Coast to Coast, West Coast, dedicated and only official podcasting channel. Oscar Allen, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Stephen, what's
good?
going on, mate?
You all right?
Did you have a good weekend?
It was okay. I was meant to be in Adelaide. Oh, dodged that bullet.
How'd you get out of that?
Because the plane wasn't large enough to carry everyone because it's still chartered flights.
There you go.
And I had to cut some numbers, and this guy, definitely cuttable.
Well, there is someone in the room who was made and did make the trip to Adelaide. And
Yeah.
a great trip it was.
We needed a punching bag for this week's episode. Welcome, Jackson Nelson.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You stalked me in the hallway. He went and saw me ask Bunga to go on, and he was like, "Geez, don't say yes." And then Bunga just quickly dispatched me over long off and said,
I'm surprised by that. I thought Bunga would be all for this.
That is severely tongue-in-cheek for anyone that knows Bunga and his media wants. And Jackson Nelson, just like a cat, just came out and just went,
Oh, I don't know if I was a cat.
thumb
I reckon
up,
I was
thumb
next
up,
on the
thumb
list,
up.
and you've gone.
Did you eat someone?
Oh, punching bag, Jacko. Yes, let's go for him.
What have we interrupted? This is day off for the players. What would you have been doing otherwise?
I've actually got a rental inspection today, so you've got me out of cleaning for an hour or so. So,
Will you
that's
be
awesome.
passing?
Yeah, comfortably. Flying colours. I don't make much mess.
You still solo?
Yeah, still solo.
Yep.
In Scarborough, next to the beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Upgrades.
Lives a good
real
life.
great.
Yeah. You been around there?
I have to pick him up. I haven't actually been inside. I've been to pick you up on the
it's
way.
real dingy. It's real like beach house kind of vibes. So, but
The
job.
single bachelor doing what he needs to over the coastal views.
Is that why you're growing the hair out again?
No, this is just from lack of care of my appearance at the moment.
Roger.
So
this is the day off, Jacko. Just give me a real brief insight as to the schedule. Like, what is the AFL player schedule these days in season? So what are you doing Mondays?
Mondays usually come in about midday and then do a recovery.
Midday? No problem. What are you doing for half the day?
Well, usually we fly in at 1 a.m. on a Saturday, and then you have Sunday and you're sore and tired and you're sleeping in, and then they give us an extra morning off so the coaches can do what they want to do and get their vision sorted, and then we do a review in the Arvo, and then
How long does that normally go for?
it depends how we play. So this week along.
Long reviews.
So
Long
you're
the last
doing
couple
it
weeks.
separately in lines, or you all sit as one collective group and check out vision together?
No, you do as a group, and then you go off into your lines and kind of knuckle down on what you need to do specifically, get better at, or what you've done well over the weekend. But yeah, so that's kind of how Mondays are set up, and then Tuesdays start doing a bit more training.
Get on up to Stadium tomorrow?
Don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. That's a great question.
Do you love getting on Optus the day prior to...
I don't really care. It's nice when you're going on away trips because you haven't played at these grounds as much. Like Optus, you've played there enough that you're kind of used to it. But the interesting thing for me the last couple of years is because of the COVID stuff with the changing schedules. It used to be like Wednesday is a day off every week. So when I first got to the club, no matter when we're playing, like Wednesday's off. So you can kind of book everything around that, whether you want to see family or you're doing things away from the football club. But now it's a bit more difficult, right? Because obviously changing schedule midweek and when COVID was at the peak in 2021, we'd have games that were on Sunday and then actually, oh no, we're playing on Friday now. So we can't organise things, which was collectively pretty tough for the playing group. I'm not sure about you because obviously I do some stuff away from the football club. I go to uni and you've been doing what were you doing last year?
I just do like a little business course online, pretty cruisy stuff. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a bit funky there for a little bit and kind of put a few guys out of routine, and especially when you got guys like Oscar who like to have everything perfectly dotting his I's and
You're a
setting his...
schedule Nazi, are you?
Well, it's just good to know what you're going to do, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
You'd be terrible on holidays then.
Shocking. That's why I holiday on my own, so I can set out my own schedule and don't have to worry about anyone else.
Well, I reckon all the fans hate it the most because they're like searching for when Coast to Coast is coming out, and we don't know when recording date's going to be because of what you talk about.
It's going to be a day later. For those listening, you guys obviously know this.
Well, they already know, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point? Okay. So, a few different roles. Let's talk footy. We're going to talk a little footy, Jacko.
Yeah. We'll warm it up.
talk a bit of
We'll warm it
footy.
up.
Warm it up.
You've gone into multiple role 2022 for Jackson.
Yes.
Did you think that's what this year was going to be about in terms of being such a flexible type of dude?
Well, if you look at my career to date, it's been pretty much that. So I've played at nearly every position every year. So it was always kind of... I didn't think it was. The conversations that I had with Simo was probably more, you're going to play half-back and I'll be fighting for a spot with guys like Coley and Witho and Rothy. And then Coley unfortunately went down. So then there was a spot for me there. But then we lost half our list to COVID in the first 3 weeks, so kind of had to fill some holes up on the wing and go through the midfield, which I've kind of done before at Waffle level, but I hadn't done it at AFL level, so it's definitely a step up. And we were able to scratch out a win against Collingwood, which was pretty special. It's been different, but also I've been through it before with the changing of roles, especially mid-game and stuff like that. So if it gets me a game, I'll take it. It's kind of been the story of my career a little bit, play wherever I'm needed.
You're talking to a generational wing talent over here. How do you find the position?
I don't know about generational wing talent for North Beach. And
is that being thrown around pretty lightly? Generational talent?
Generational talent. Just because you're a rangy type doesn't make you a good wingman.
You think that's catching on?
No.
Okay. No, how do you find the wing?
I enjoy the wing, yeah. It's been a bit of a change of role this year with the wing.
Don't go into that much detail. I do not want to be in Simo's office on
No,
on
I'm not going to go into that much detail, but just getting around the ball a little bit more instead of, probably running up and down. You're getting involved in the play a little bit, which is good. So I've enjoyed it. And we've got young Paddy Naish as well over, who's a little whippet, little mosquito. So I get to work with him and kind of figure him out a little bit, which has been good fun.
Have you done that?
I'm slowly figuring him out. He's a lively type, but he's good fun. He's good value around the group, high energy kind of guy and a lot of confidence. So we're trying to bring him back on the confidence a little bit. A few of us older middle tier boys, but no, he's going really well and he's getting a heap of the footy. So he's going well.
Question for you, Jacko. So when you were drafted, where did you think you'd play your career? Because like everyone, when you draft, you're like, oh, I think I'll be a halfback or I'll be a half forward. Did you think, well, versatility is my key. Underage footy, you played probably more midfield because I feel like everyone that's at a really high level when they get drafted kind of plays midfield. What was your thoughts going into being drafted and thinking, well, halfback, I can play, churn out 100 games there, or what were your thoughts there?
Well, I played halfback in my bottom age year and had a pretty good year and was able to go into the academy program and all that stuff. And then I went back into the midfield in my top age year because I was just a bit older and that's kind of where everyone plays if they want to get drafted. So I played a bit of both. And then when I got to the footy club, it was always going to be probably down back. So I always thought I was probably going to be a backman for the majority of my career. But I think Simo's just had trust in me to kind of go anywhere and play a role. And that kind of happened early on when I got given jobs on certain dangerous small forwards and my ability to adapt in game kind of set me in good stead for the rest of my career kind of thing. So he's backed me in, which has been awesome and given me the confidence to play in different positions.
I remember early meeting you and you had a story for me and Thumper won't have heard this. I'm not sure if you remember it. And you've always been kind of a little bit niggly when you play footy. You get into other blokes.
Wow.
And I remember you telling me you had a story with one of the recruiters and he told you the day that they realised they wanted to draft you. Do you remember this story?
Yeah, I do, yeah. It was a wet day at Werribee and we were playing against Eastern Rangers and obviously the team that Christian Matraka got drafted from. And they were a bit of a rival of us, so we sent Reece Matheson to him.
Another pesky individual.
Another real pesky beast mode. He was, he was an interesting character, but a good fella, and was a hard nut. So we sent him to him, and I remember Trevor Woodhouse was at the game, or he told me he was at the game, and Reece got him holding the ball, and then I went over to remonstrate. And might have dropped a little knee into his back.
Jacko.
And I thought, this is the man for us.
And, yeah, there was heaps of niggle going on after that. And then, and then Trev was like, yeah, you've got that kind of niggly attitude that we want to see out of a small halfback. So
classic.
I love that. Kids listening, just getting fights. And Nicole Bauer, we need this guy. This is the kind of intent we need out there.
Talk about the run with roll, Jacko. You had Andy Brayshaw on the derby for half a game. Shut him down. I think he had almost more touches than him to half time. Then the move got made. So when, it was like, we need to make up some points, we need a bit more assertive attacking. Were you like, were you happy? Were you like, I get to hunt the ball now? Or were you like, no, I'm having a game here. Can you just let me do my thing for another half?
I think when you're in the game and you're thinking about it, you're just like, all right, next move, like, all right, let's move on and then move into my next role rather than thinking about how I'm going or whatever. But looking back on the game, I was like, geez, I was actually doing an all right job on him. But he's obviously a good player, and then he came out in the second half and had 20-odd touches or whatever. And you kind of look back and you're like, geez, what if I just stayed on him? Like I might have, done something pretty special for the team, hopefully. But yeah, we had some other issues that game, and Simo wanted me to move into a different spot. So, and that happens during game all the time. I've had games where it's been the opposite, where I've started on a wing or at a half back, and it's been like, right, can you go shut down someone? So, that's just footy. Like, I don't really think too much into it, because otherwise you can get really caught up in the, what if I did that? What if I did that? But you can't really change anything at the time, so you just kind of move on with it.
Do you have to learn that? Is that what you were doing early in the career when you overthink a little bit out there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think early in my career I was like, all right, I've got to shut this guy down. I've got to make sure that he doesn't get a touch. And then I wasn't getting a touch. And then, you go out of the team because you haven't got a touch. So you can't play in the team if you're not having an impact with the ball. So then you kind of think about trying to get the ball too much, and then you kind of just, your head gets all muddled up, and then you're thinking about, what if I did that? What if I did this? And then you find yourself in and out of the team a lot more often. So you kind of got to learn how to deal with those situations and just kind of be really calm and level-headed throughout the whole lot, rather than getting too hyped up or not hyped up enough. You kind of got to balance it out. Try and get in that flow state that people talk about. So
the flow state.
Yeah, the flow state.
Okay.
It's definitely a skill. That last part that you were talking about is interesting, because like, people think you're playing AFL, you're not thinking about touching the ball, but when you are on the cusp, I suppose, of the side, you are thinking at times when you're not playing well, and probably when you will get dropped the next week, which has happened to me as well, when you're having a poor game and you think, I need to have an impact here, and then you try too hard to make an impact. And it's a weird line between, well, I have to try, but I also don't have to try in the same way, and just kind of play the game, because you try so hard to make something happen and then you just stuff it up, or you go out of your role and then it causes a goal because you were in the wrong position or something. It's really, really, it took me a long time to get used to it when I got to the club, and it's probably something that you do better than anyone else. I think you're pretty role driven and you're not really go outside of it much, and I think that's something a lot of the other young players kind of look up to in that specific role.
Yeah, I think the role stuff, you kind of got to be really clear on that, and then you can just play footy around that. So it doesn't matter about touches, but it kind of does in a way. But it just comes with experience. I think I'm able to talk to guys like Bunga, and even who else has kind of been good in that sense. Probably Bunga's been probably my one guy that I've gone to the most, and a couple of coaches along the way, in terms of touching the footy as well as defending. But then you just gain experience. You understand where the ball's going to go. You understand where you're going to get your touches. And then you might get a couple of cheapies here and there. And it looks better, because a lot of the game now is based on stats, and everyone looks at the stats. Coaches look at the stats. So you got to make sure you still have an impact with the ball, but then also off the ball, making sure you're doing the right things for the team, because otherwise, you're probably going to lose your spot in that respect as well.
You touched on yourself being dropped before as well, Oscar, and the selection battles that Jacko's had. All foreign to me. North Beach, very keen on a 40-kilogram winger.
You're a walk-up wearer?
Automatics.
Oh,
but who's calling it? Is Simo calling it? Is it his PA or his helper? Is it your line? When you get that call, do you know? Is it just deliver me the news straight away? Is there preamble beforehand? Do you even register what gets said afterwards? Or when you just hear that you've been dropped, you just go off into your own world and you wouldn't be able to verbatim repeat what Simo or someone just told you?
I think everyone has different experiences of it. My first one, when I first started to get dropped when I first played, so I played my first game and got dropped afterwards. And I think it was Tuesday, and Simo just came up to me, and I feel like when you're going to get dropped, he gives you really good hints early in the week. And then mine, I was called into, Jamie Graham was the backline coach at the time, and I got called into Simo's office with all of them there, and I was like, wow, this is really formal. Like, this is what it must be like every week. And then later on, it's just like a phone call. Simo's just like, yeah, mate, you're not playing, or we'll just wait and see. So it definitely changes every time. I liked in the hub, you'd get called in, and it was the most imposing thing, because there'd be like 4 players lined up, and they'd all have a time slot when we were on the Gold Coast hub. And you do the math and you're like, well, 2 of us 4 are playing here. And then like the guys are going before you, you'd read the room and be like, he looks upset. I think I'm playing. Like, no, he was playing. He was putting on a fake facade. Like, I'm out the side.
But like, you don't really have to deal with that anymore, because you've kind of, played enough good footy. But like me and Jake Waterman, I reckon we've been dropped every single possible way known to man. Like we've had those situations, we've had the phone calls, we've had like I've been dropped over text message before, I reckon, but like followed up with a phone call, of course, but more about being in the squad or being out of the squad. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways that you can be dropped in terms of the voicing of it for various different reasons as well. But yeah, it's also how you react to those, I reckon, is the biggest thing, because there's a lot of guys that have reacted poorly, and then it's so noticeable if guys are reacting poorly to being dropped. And
amongst the group, you mean?
Yeah, I think you've got to just stick fat, really, and, you know...
continue to support others.
Yeah, you can't be dirty at someone for taking your spot or for being dropped. Like, I live with two guys that took my spot.
That's what I mean. You're going to be closest with your line people because you're mates anyway. And when you're competing for spots, it's a very foreign mentality for others in workplaces to comprehend.
Well, when you're in that flux state of in and out of the side, you're probably an emergency, or now you're the sub, so you're still training with the team throughout the week and going into game day. It's not like, well, you will now go to with the waffle guys and train with them. You're still really closely knit with the side, going to all the pre-game meetings. So that vibe you put off can be felt pretty quickly by the other playing group, I think. Especially now, like with the sub, even if you're not playing, you're still playing. So you've always got to be ready for, all right, I'm back on. And I was never a part of when there was the original sub rule, but I assume it's probably similar to this, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was going around when you debuted, right?
Yeah. Duggo did it a fair bit.
In 2015.
I did it once, came on, had 0 touches. So I had
you came
a big
on late
donut.
though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was against Port Adelaide, actually, at Adelaide Oval in my 4th game or something, and came on and played half forward and just had no idea what I was doing. And then I had a big donut next to my name after the game as a used sub.
Did you play the next week?
No, I don't think so.
He just did some really good patterns.
I got rested.
All right, the Pies game a couple of weeks ago. Where does that rate, Jacko, in terms of your most memorable wins, maybe in footy history?
Yeah, it was definitely up there for me personally. I think the older you get, the more those games mean to you, because you become more of a senior player and you become more. I mean, you're looking around and there's only Gov, Bunga, and maybe Tommy Barras and Duggo around me who are around the same age, and there's a lot of guys a lot younger than you. So
what are you, 26, 27?
26, yeah. Yep. So, 8th year, been around for a while, seen a lot of good teams, been a part of a lot of good teams, and haven't been really in a role that's, very important to the team, whereas probably have to take on a little bit more of a leadership role. And so it's definitely up there, and seeing guys like X and Westy go to work and have really good games was awesome to see. And even though the backs were under the pump, the backs played really well, and we were able to kick some pretty special goals from Liam and Willie. And Jakey Waterman popped up and kicked a goal, which he was pretty happy about.
He gave it a lot.
Gave it good. Mouth guard went flying,
Yep.
Plenty.
Well, what else do you, any other sort of memories throughout the game or tidbits you can add from playing perspective? Because Oscar's giving me absolute donuts because he was on his couch with Smudge.
Absolutely nothing
Well,
at the moment. It's not your fault, mate.
Yeah.
We know you got a sore foot.
I don't reckon you remember much from games. I'm not sure about you, but I don't remember much at all that stands out. When you look back at, say you watch the replay of the game or whatever, I'm watching things, I did not see that happen. I don't know whether it's because I play in front of the ball, I'm kind of just trying to read where the ball's going rather than what's actually happening to the ball. And you behind the ball probably similar.
Yeah, I think you get a lot more feel of games. I reckon there's certain games where you feel like, right, we're right in this, we're a massive sniff, and then there's other games where you're like, oh, it's coming in hot, this, how are we going to hold on? Or it's like, oh, we're smashing them. There's probably 3 kind of feelings that you get from a game. And that was one of those games where we're hanging in here, we kick another one, then we might go, we might get in front of them and put more pressure on them, and then, we were able to do that, and that's one of the better feeling games. But, kind of at the moment we're going through a lot of different emotions on field, and it's about trying to bridge the gap between feeling like, oh, it's coming in hot, and feeling like you're in the contest. So, yeah, it's interesting.
You know what I remember was how many F1 turbos were checking into the hotel that weekend. Some serious F1 heads, flying in from all over the globe, kids that just had their eyeballs hanging out the back of their head on 18-hour flights from the States, lobbying to be, in the F1 zones.
F1 must be the biggest growth sport right now. That Netflix series has done the world for, and there's another one coming out for golf and tennis. Like, I can't wait for all these sports just to blow up because you actually understand the people in them now.
Yeah, well, Zave O'Neill's a classic example
He's
of
a
that.
nuffie.
He's a nuffie in general.
Yeah.
But he loves it. Like, he'll stay up late and watch the races, do all that kind of stuff. And he's turning into like Thumper a little bit. Like, Thumper's a bit of a nuffie at a couple of things.
Big time.
What else have you got? Like, do you offer anything to this podcast in terms of like personality?
You do?
I'd love to be in a position where everyone else got to drive it and I just got to say outrageous things. I think I'd be better suited to that.
Is that what I do?
You could do it. You could do it more. You could say more outrageous things, but then the outrageous things I got to cut because I got to cut.
People listening think Oscar doesn't say that many outrageous things. It's because you're never going to hear him. Thumper gets rid of every single thing I say. It's not.
So you're ruining the vibe of this podcast.
Basically.
This podcast could be going through the roof, but you are.
I don't know how much higher the roof can get.
I just don't know if I'd have a job. Yeah, I'd be Thumper. We told you not to put that in there.
Yeah.
Pack your desk. You're
All
out.
right, Thumper, is it time to bite the bullet?
And talk about the games.
Yeah,
the
Jacko.
Shockers.
Talk me through it, seeing as you're the only one that was over there.
We're starting with Swans or just going straight to Port?
No, we'll go straight to Port.
Okay. I'll gloss over the part where I took my 6-year-old to Optus Stadium a couple of Fridays ago, and he's since been scarred. We drive past Optus, he's shaking in his back seat.
Quaking
thanks
in
for
his
supporting
boots.
us,
Time.
mate.
Rattlesnake, as you say. But anyway, we'll gloss past that. We'll give it another go Friday.
Yeah.
The Port game, a little bit surprising because you would have loved some Adelaide Oval times in the past.
Yeah, not so much personally, but I think as a group, we definitely feel like we've played well there. And we thought we started really well. We were on top of them early, and then we probably could have kicked a few goals earlier and then put a bit more pressure on them, and it might have been a different game. But after that, it was the ball was coming in pretty hot into the back line, and we just weren't able to move it out of our back line.
Yeah,
and
just blaming other lines is what's happening here.
I'm talking about the backs, mate.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm
mate,
part of that.
like-
I'm trying to be.
I was just saying, look, our backs were doing the best we could.
I mean,
Well,
Holistic-
we didn't, obviously. We lost.
Holistically, they did have 63 inside 50s to about 30. So there wasn't a lot that could be done. I mean, without getting nitty-gritty of footy, like when you concede a lot of inside 50s and it's always near their goals, they're likely to score.
Yeah.
It's probably, as a side, we need to figure out a way to kind of arrest the momentum. I feel like every AFL club's working through this right now, where when you're going up against a side and they start going, and AFL rather than any other sport, like you think about basketball, soccer, any sport, the other team scores, the other team gets the ball. So it's like, you scored, okay, my time to get the ball. Whereas AFL footy is so rare in terms of, all right, you scored, all right, back to a 50-50. Like, if you want to keep beating us at the contest, then you will keep getting the ball and we'll never get an opportunity to have a crack.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main differentiating. And now 666, you can't have any structures behind it to give you some support. Yeah, it's just one of those things that we need to figure out a way to kind of arrest that momentum.
Yeah, and I think we're working towards it. I think, guys coming back in, a bit of synergy. Simo's really driving the synergy of the group. And then there's those middle tier guys that have played a fair bit of footy this year, or most of the games this year, who need to kind of upskill the younger guys who are coming into the team and then make the older guys feel more connected to those young guys. So that's kind of our roles as being those middle-aged kind of guys, and hopefully we can get back on track this week.
A couple of things on that, Jacko. So I think you're on the money. You go back and watch that game. The first 5 minutes we're on. Like the midfield is on, it's clicking, and it was just whether it be the delivery or the pressure put on the delivery and failing to execute at the last inside 50 kind of entry kind of got us into not reaping the rewards like we could have. And then you talk about, getting the momentum back when they start to get a run on. This is a problem that's kind of just started. We never really had this problem. It's just the last year and a half maybe to break the stem of goals from the oppo. And I think the amount of marks that we had during that period where they piled on 7 in the quarter would have had 2 marks when they kicked 5 goals maybe. So the inability to kind of get possession, wrestle it, let's control it for a bit, stop the momentum, we're away from home. That was one thing that I guess we didn't execute as best we could.
Well, you're right. When we had, and when Jacko, you were in the side before me, but when we kind of were coming through as younger players, there was a lot of senior players around us who had really good footy IQ who'd kind of do that second nature. They just kind of take care of it. But now we're getting to the stage where we're probably those older players. Obviously, I haven't been able to contribute, but yourself and a lot of older guys that have come through, it's almost like, well, you're looking around and you're like, well, okay, it's time for us to arrest the momentum. And it's just that phase we're going through now of trying to figure out how to do that effectively and really just slow the game down when we need to.
Yeah, definitely. I think the footy IQ thing's massive. I think understanding what's happening in a game, why it's happening in a game, and how do we fix it in a game is quite difficult at times because you're often quite cooked and, you're blowing a bit, and then having the mental capacity to go like, right, this is what's happening, this is what we need to do. And that comes from the bench and comes from, the senior guys. But sometimes it's the guys that are, a bit younger who need to take on that responsibility and kind of take it off the hands of, just your bungers and your JKs. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we go this week. Hopefully, thump.
I enjoyed Tim Kelly's game, even in the second term.
He was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, in the second term when we were getting beaten quite a bit. We'll get onto the second quarter records in a minute, but he had 9 touches in that quarter. And if you're losing 7 goals to 0 and getting 9 touches in the midfield, you're doing okay. Do you know what the collective, I don't know, how much is being spoken about in these second quarters? This is an outrageous stat of what's happening in second quarters to us at the moment.
What's happening? Sorry.
So we're the only team not to win one for the year. But we've been outscored collectively in second quarters by 110 points by the Oppo. Outrageous.
Yeah, that is outrageous. Yeah, I didn't actually know that. I think, I don't even know why that's happening. I don't know.
It would be a weird anomaly because it's not how you're starting. The feeling, preparation to start the game might be something you'd concentrate on more, not getting out of the blocks.
Stats are important, but I think they also lie a lot. I don't think when you watch the games, you think collectively second quarters we're poor. I know you might take a step back and it looks like that from the outside, but sometimes it's just the way that the game happens and other teams get on a run, and that happens to be the part of the game where we aren't able to arrest that momentum as well. But I don't think, and it's definitely not something the playing group's talking about. As Jacko said, I didn't even know that was the case either until I was watching the game and they brought the stat up and I was like, well, that's strange. No one's spoken about that. And if it was a glaring issue, it would have been something the club and the players had brought up themselves and tried to solve. But we have other issues that are probably more important than just a second quarter. It's probably more game style wise and how we can play effective footy at AFL level.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We got Elliot Yeo missing this week.
The curse of the podcast. He was a guest last week.
Oh, Jacko, run,
all the best, mate.
Run.
All the best.
I'll be right, boys.
Will we bring in, will we have another debutant to play inside mid? Will they bring Jermaine Jones back in? Selection going to be a very interesting one, but just he's had some shocking luck, Yoey.
He has.
Shocking.
Yeah, it's the way footy goes. It's pretty cruel, and when things start going against you, they go against you pretty hard. But as you said, great opportunity. Do we have a new debutant in the club? I'm not sure. Do we bring in another young player? Maybe, I know Luke Edwards comes back into the side. We've got a lot of young mids, so it's just a great opportunity for them to hopefully get a chance to play a good game of footy like they did against Collingwood when we won.
Fan of seeing the Elliot Yeo fat chat out there from some ex-players?
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, current day and age.
Do you look at him and think you are out of shape?
Nah. Well, no. He's in pretty good nick, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone has different body shapes, and he's always been a larger guy, and that's why when he's at his best, he's so much stronger and more physical than other players because he carries that extra muscle. I think it's more muscle than fat.
Yeah, I think Gaffy summed it up well yesterday. He wears an extra tight shirt and the extra tight shorts, and if he's going well, they're like, wow, he looks so strong.
Yeah, he looks like
great
a bull
in the contest, and he looks like a bull. Yeah, and then when he's going no good, they're like, oh, he's fat, he's overweight, he's this, he's that. It's like the media just like to change it depending on how the team's going. Like if we go out and win that game and Yoey doesn't get knocked out and he still has 18 touches, they're not even talking about him. They're talking about how he won or anything like that.
Like it. Luke Stranack, debut for the club. He was the 11th debutant for the season at round 6.
What's the record?
I wouldn't know it.
Obviously, apart from the first season, because I'm assuming there'll be 22 debutants. But
fair point.
Yeah, I don't know how many we'll roll out. 11's a large number. I think we used to roll
going to be a few more to come, I think.
Yeah, we used to roll 4 or 5 a year. And that was a great year of development. Yep. A lot of new players came in this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, how'd you find him? How was he in terms of nerves, excitement, banter? How'd you find him over there?
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he's a great fella. It's just weird at the moment because we're flying a day out. You don't really get to hang out with the boys as much as you probably used to on an away trip. So you kind of don't really get to spend that much time with him. But yeah, he was excited. He played pretty well. I thought at times he probably got a lesson in the ruck at times, but that's his first game against an AFL ruckman. So I was talking to him yesterday. He said it's the hardest game he's ever played, and I think a lot of the boys are in the same boat. It's footy's getting pretty hard at the moment, and we need to be able to win some contests, and then it'll get a bit easier for those big guys as well.
Just before we move away from the travel, are you a man that never misses the supper?
Yeah, I'm a supper man.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jacko's one of the staples of supper.
Yeah, I love supper. We played actually Werewolf, one of Oscar's
Oh
favourite
no, I
games
missed
this
out.
week.
I'm gonna have to FaceTime next time you boys are playing. Let me in.
It was a great. Yeah, the Werewolves got on top this time. Usually the Werewolves don't get on top.
Who were the werewolves?
I mean, you know it's random, mate.
Yeah,
But
I know.
Jake Waterman put on an absolute clinic. Who's usually a melt artist, but
Yep.
he was actually very good. For
Never
a change.
trust a man that's good at werewolf.
Nah. Which, well, what's that saying about you, mate?
Yeah.
Because you rate yourself very high.
I'm the best at
at
werewolf.
most of things, but this thing especially.
Are you a bit flat that you don't get to see family on these travel trips, Jacko? You know, it's quite a bubble type atmosphere within the group at the moment.
It is a little bit, but you're able to sneak off and have a coffee or go for a walk with them if they're around, which I've done, which is fine. And I think going for a walk and having a coffee with them is not against the rules. I don't think so. Yeah, it's good to catch up with them. I hadn't seen them for over a year and a bit over the last year, and didn't get to see them for Christmas and stuff. So yeah, it's always good to see them, and yeah, you can kind of catch up with them every now and then. Thump, just get your facts right before you start asking stupid questions.
Sounds
like
good.
that.
Sounds good. Facts aren't my strong point. All right, we're going to go to the Waffle Watch, courtesy of Hungry Jack's, where the burgers are better. Jacko, what's your Hungry Jack's order, bros? Just quickly.
I don't eat that, mate.
You can't say that.
Do
you not eat any Hungry
double
Jack?
waffle with cheese?
Say it again.
But no.
Well, I've
I'll
just
just say the same answer that I
Yeah.
love Hungry Jack's as a company, but I don't eat it because otherwise you'll call me fat like you call Yowie fat. But you like
That's
back
me.
your teammates
That's me.
up.
That's me.
You said
I did
Yowie
say me.
fat.
I did say me.
Yeah, but double waffle with cheese.
Sweet.
I'm a big fan of the hotcakes with the.
What?
Not, are ya?
I love the hotcakes, man.
You're
They're
a
elite.
strange man, aren't you?
And the
People know how strange you are on this podcast because I
Really?
feel like
Yes,
you don't
though.
give off that vibe.
am I actually the only one here that likes hotcakes or what?
But yeah, only one here.
Yeah.
Really?
Nah.
You've got a son. Surely
You've got
he
some weird
loves
stuff
eating
going on.
pancakes.
I
yeah.
haven't. I'll see what he thinks of it. I don't think he's going to be raging for it. To be
Really?
fair, yeah.
Just
Out of
me,
all
I
the
guess.
options on the menu, you go for hotcakes.
Yeah.
Hot
And just syrup
And hash
it up
browns.
hard. Syrup
And
it
hash
up.
browns.
You go syrup, right?
Yeah, syrup and a bit of butter.
Dude, Hungry Jack's, never knew Hungry Jack's did hotcakes. So there
Okay,
you
well
go.
they do. Get around it and be in Yoey's territory. 76 points, the loss to South Fremantle, who are probably going to be one of the teams to beat this year in the local competition. Samo Petreski-Seaton, didn't mind his line, 18 touches, 5 grabs, 6 tackles and a snag.
Well rounded.
Luke Edwards returned. The last game he obviously played was the Collingwood game where he was subbed out with maybe some flaring up of his OP. So good to see him back. 14 touches, 7 tackles in the engine room. Petch came out from H&S protocol, so had an extra week to recover. Where did Petch play in the Waffle game? Do you guys know? Because I've watched 0 minutes of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played a quarter at half back.
He played everywhere, yeah. I think he
a
played
bit everywhere.
bit of forward, bit of midfield, and bit of half back. So another versatile guy. I think he's another one trying to find his best spot. He's had a couple of years to develop, and he's one of those guys that I can see towards the back end of the year really coming along and really becoming one of those mature players every week that we can rely on at AFL level.
Wants to talk a lot of NBA at the moment. His Warriors are going very nice in the old Western Conference.
I've had enough of him and his Warriors. They've been going too nicely for the last 5 years.
He's up and about. Just see the fan try and get on the court again for the Wolves game.
Mate, what is going on with this?
Did you see
Have
this,
been
Jacko?
I'm
following-
not massive on the NBA. I got to.
We're not massive on you with those comments. So what's happened is one
I've seen it. Yeah, I think I've seen it.
glued to the court. She tried to glue herself to the court.
What?
Another
fan,
one.
yeah.
Another one tried to chain herself to the bottom of the ring.
all like activists during the game about whatever.
What's this dude? It's
Didn't
always
that happen
the.
in the EPL as well? Or
Will you tell me about that one then? You tell the story.
Yeah,
mate.
I'm pretty sure someone like zip tied themselves to the goal.
No, they
post.
did, yeah, and they had to get it out. Yeah.
and they had to come and chop it off.
Was that a while ago?
This was recently, but this basketball one was a couple of days ago, and they literally ran onto the middle of the court whilst the game was going on, and the players were like looking around, and then they just like kept on playing.
The security guard stalked her. So like he's moved down to the second seat from the bench, like eyeing her off, going, "This doesn't look right."
Yeah.
And as soon as she starts to make her move, he's just pounced
Dang.
and floored her.
But
and
still-
she had a referee kit underneath her jumper, so she's doing all sorts of mind games to get access
Right.
to wherever.
But still, like they let her on the court. She was like on the court
She
with the
got a
players
meter.
first.
She got a meter on
Surely
the
the
court.
security can be a little bit better than that. I don't know.
Well, I feel like streakers are coming. There's a lot more recently. Did you see that girl who got folded by one of the security guards. in
yeah,
an
it was
NRL
so
game.
good.
Oh my lord!
She got dealt with. pretty
Yes,
hard.
dealt with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay, that was Petch, NBA. That's all gone. Greg Clark, second game back, which is excellent news. He had 25 touches, a team high, that was, 7 grabs. He might be in the frame to play some Friday night footy. We had 9 players all up v South Fremantle, and they're playing Peel again this week here at MRP. You going to come for a gander? Any of you two?
Yeah, I do.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, you're the coach?
Yeah, I was. I'm not anymore.
You've been sacked.
I've been sacked. I think Chance
You're
Bateman.
coaching?
I was coaching the forward line, yeah.
Oh god!
That shows how much you've been coming down to the waffle footy. But
What do you mean? I came and watched round 1. I didn't see you coaching round 1.
I was a coach in the preseason.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. So you've coached for a game when we were away, and you think, oh, I'm the forward line coach.
Well, I was
And
going
then
to training as
You
well.
were not going to
I
training.
was.
Don't lie.
I was, mate.
Yeah.
I'm doing very, very little apart from behind the scenes work.
Yeah, you're doing very, very little. Full stop.
Correct.
That's what you're doing.
Correct. I back
Correct.
that.
Petch had to move to the back line. That's how good your coaching was going.
Mate, it's because we got too many forwards. Anyway,
The development's too great in the
anyway,
forwards. You're
playing
overflowing.
Peel.
Yeah.
I liked it when we used to play Peel in the waffle, and it was the preview to the AFL game. So when there was the derby, the Peel team would play the West Coast team, and they played Optus, and then everyone would get the chance to be able to watch both at
That
the
hasn't
same
happened
time.
all the time, though, right?
It used to happen in
Yeah.
2019, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I played in that game. I played in that game with Scully, actually.
I've done some stinking drives down there to call one of our games at Peel, though, so it's not a...
No, it's not a common
Yeah.
thing, but I reckon that would be a great initiative to bring in. So that way, both Freo and West Coast players all get the chance to play Optus Stadium, and they get, like, by the end of the game, there's 30, 40,000 people there and get a great experience of playing in front of a big crowd. And those guys can be able to watch the young players develop in front of their eyes.
Couldn't
and see,
agree more, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there should be better curtain raisers going
I
on.
must be honest, Oscar must have been playing in the AFL game that day because I played in the Waffle game and there was a fair echo going around the stadium when the Waffle always ran out at 10 a.m.
There was one security guard in the fan, and I was like, he's got the seat in the house because no one else is here with him.
Yeah.
It built up eventually in
It
time.
built
though.
up a little
Yeah.
bit, yes.
So Zane True's going to return for his first game in the Waffle this week.
Yep.
He's been cleared through the medical report. So at 20 years of age, he hasn't played, when is it, round 17 in 2021, just 11 games last year. Was it his shins or his back maybe last year?
I think it's a bit of both,
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
think combination.
Yeah. But he would have absolutely been able to show his colours so far in 2022 with our, selection issues. It's a shame we haven't seen Truey out there playing some footy.
Yeah, he looked good when he played. I think he played half a preseason game against Freo last year.
Yeah, I think
At
he had
Optus
10 touches or something like that.
in like a quarter or something. So he
Yeah.
looked good. And just excited to see him. He's another young midfielder. He was highly touted as a youngster and looks like he can play at training and stuff. So hopefully he can string together some good footy and bring a bit of form to the Waffle side. And you never know.
Yep.
Anyone can get a game nowadays.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for him, to be honest. He's been stuck with Duggo and you in rehab. Could not imagine being stuck with you in rehab. Oh my God.
Well, you got Nick there now. How's he going?
Yeah, he's going well. I think
he
he's
must be having an awesome time having you in his ear every day.
I think-
my God.
I think Nick's
feel
actually.
sorry for
I
him.
think Nick's actually coming along well. I don't know how long these injuries take. Like how long does
What
an
did he say?
ACL take?
I think it was 8 to 12 on the injury report by memory.
Right.
Yep. I saw Dommy Sheed was 4 weeks, though, which was promising for Dom.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he's been
back
on track.
running,
Has he
yeah.
been on track with you
Yeah,
guys?
he was back running yesterday. I saw him running. He does a little bit of kicking now. I think he's just introing back in to a little bit of stuff. He reckons he's blowing up a little bit, but
To be expected,
yeah, to be expected.
And then we've got Dixon, Gaff, Gov all test for this week against the Tigers. Friday night footy, full capacity, so it's been lifted. Do you notice a difference when it goes from 45 to 60 or loud is loud?
I think you notice when it goes from 30 to 40 or 25 to 40. And obviously love to have the more fans there, the better. It definitely helps us because when we play away and we kick a goal and there's crickets, it's a pretty weird feeling. But then when you come back home and the crowd's really cheering for you, we obviously love having the fans there, especially after the last couple of years where we haven't had any fans. Yeah, it'd be great to get 40, 50,000 there for sure.
You got anything else to add?
Masks are off on Friday as well, hey? Like mask mandate, it disappears from WA on Friday too.
I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
midnight Friday or...
Is it? Oh,
or
okay.
I don't know if it's midnight or the 12 a.m, so you get all Friday.
Right. Anyway, that's positive.
It's great. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to have to wear a mask around you Muppets.
Yeah,
around
I think
the club.
we will have to wear them as well, just as an
Gutting.
extra conservative measure. Well,
Although I'm a good looking rooster with a mask on, though. I'm backing it.
Yeah, it actually improves.
Yeah, good
your looks
catfishing.
massively.
Good
Big
catfish.
time. I'm going to get on Tinder with a mask and do all right while the iron's is hot for a little bit longer. Jacko, you got anything else to add in waffle or footy this weekend, Oscar? Or are you just you happy to move on?
I'm happy to move on, mate.
Okay,
We've got some different Jackson Nelson oriented questions.
Yeah, I'm going to talk some Jacko stuff. You got 100 games coming up on the horizon, mate.
Yes.
What's it going to mean to you to play 100 games, Jacko?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think I was ever going to get to 100 games. I think there was moments in my career where I was like, this could be my last year, and I kind of didn't have a spot, had a spot. I don't think they've been the most exciting 100 games that you keep telling me because you're trying to put my highlights together and there's not much really.
Just a grinder. You're a grinder, and definitely with the specky plays. Like your 2 goals are stinkers. Let's be frank.
Yeah, no, the one was a 50-metre penalty and set shot, and the one was from the goal square. So
yeah, they won't make it.
You could make it funny. Like put some points in there. Some of my
You kick some
turnovers.
points?
Yeah, I've kicked like 9 or 10 points.
Have you?
Yeah.
I haven't kept them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I've got to do scraps though. I've got all these. I think there's one scrap where someone else
a WrestleMania fight for 10 minutes.
I don't know if it was Coley or him. There's one great clip where like Coley, maybe Coley smacks into someone like an opposition player, and the oppo person gets up, and Jacko's just the nearest one.
And you just whacked him?
Yeah, and the guy's gone up to whack Jacko, and he did not respond well. Oh, that's a great clip. That'll certainly make it. But what have you got? Another 6 games, 5 games, maybe?
Yeah, 5 or 6 or something. But yeah, I'll be pretty stoked. I think it'll mean a lot to me to play 100 games. I think I remember when I was coming through, one of our talent managers, Leon Harris, who was he's now at Brisbane, I think. He said that you can't say that you've really made it in AFL until you've played 100 games. So I'll wear that with a badge of honour, and I'll be stoked for sure.
Where was he taken in the draft? Don't look at the piece of paper in front of you.
I actually don't know. You were in the academy, so maybe like 40, 30s, 30s, 40s, 50s?
No, you raised the bat.
Whereabouts?
51.
And who went there or abouts around you?
There was a Geelong player that got taken a couple of picks before you. Were you riding
Corey
that pick?
Gredson?
Oh, I don't know his name. Were you riding that a little bit?
A little bit. I wasn't one of those guys that had every single club come and talk to him and be like, Oscar, and he would tell you about
I was
it.
not any. Where is it? I was not an academy kid. I wasn't silver spoon like you guys. I was grinding
not a
playing
silver
waffle
spoon,
Colts as an overage.
I was one of those academy kids that just got put in because we need a backman, so we'll put the.
I can see you with the lemonade stand and the megaphone on draft day to start talking and hope the recruiters come to you.
Well,
You got your own camera set up at home. I'll send this into Fox Footy.
It's different now that I was at the draft. So
There you go.
it's different.
It's only a matter
It's
of time.
different now because I'm pretty sure every single state has their own like AIS academy now. So like there's 40 kids in every state that go there. So I'm pretty sure now every single kid's basically in the AIS program, which is different to how it was you and me. I'm not sure. There was like maybe like 40 kids.
Yeah. No, well, mine was actually AIS Academy. I think it changed the year after. But yeah, back to your point, I thought I was going to Geelong, because Stephen Wells came over the night before and said, we're going to take you. And then the classic, there goes that pick.
What, and you pick someone else? Oh, man.
That would be so heartbreaking to see that happen, to have that guarantee, and then you start to go, wow, is this not how it works?
Yeah.
Like, is it not guaranteed? You got nothing else to go by. You're not talking to other AFL teammates. You don't have them yet. You think someone's saying, we're going to pick you, and then their picks are going and they don't. You're like, what the fuck, man?
I guess it's why they just don't guarantee it anymore. Like, I'm not sure, unless you go pick one, like, maybe they'll tell you, but my whole draft process, everyone was like, oh, well, potentially, and they just kept it really vague because I reckon like they must have had heaps of players like yourself with like, yeah, we'll take you, and then they just like burn them for no apparent reason. Like, why tell someone you're going to pick them if you're not going to do it?
Is it the equivalent of the Tinder date? Yeah, I'll call you.
Well, I think
Speak for yourself, mate. You're the only one that's going on Tinder dates here, mate. I mean,
Jackson Nelson,
am
right here, right
definitely
now.
not.
Have you
That is the biggest
created a dating profile of any sort out there? Can someone swipe on a Jackson Nelson picture?
No,
yes
they
or no?
cannot.
That is a lie.
No,
That's a
that's
lie.
a no. It's a no. Oh, what? You're going to make up a fake girl account and then start swiping until you find me?
Maybe.
That's a
Maybe
good
you should
idea.
do
I
that.
don't mind that.
Go for your life.
got
You'll be
some time.
swiping for a few days.
Time.
People that went in your draft
No, after him.
after him.
Yeah, this is after.
Wow, this is a deep draft.
I know.
So is this Ed Langdon?
Yeah.
Ed Langdon,
Not Carl. He was a bit past it by then.
Harris Andrews, Dan Butler, Finn Layson, Jack Sinclair,
He was in the rookie draft. So these are those three at the end of the rookies, I think.
Jaden Short.
Yeah, well, like, unless they were, like, re-rookied or something
That's
like
a
that,
deep draft. Was the top end of your draft good as well, or was there kind of like a couple picks that didn't necessarily hit as they would have expected?
The top 10 is one of the disputed ones, I reckon. Paddy McCartan went pick 1.
Yeah.
Petrarca pick 2, obviously, but he's gone on to win a Norm Smith and win a premiership, so he's been pretty good.
Yeah, he's been
I think
right.
pick 3 was Jared Pickett, who is now
Pickett, he plays our waffle side.
Plays at our waffle side, and is he'll hopefully get a game soon, but I think he needs to get some Ks in the legs before then.
I'm getting it
I think
up.
we had like Caleb Marchbank, Paula Hearn.
Petrarca went 2, Brayshaw 3.
Oh, Brayshaw.
Angus
sorry.
Brayshaw.
Angus Brayshaw, yeah.
DeGoey 5. Yeah, you're right on Marchbank.
So there were some.
2 metre Peter went 8, Darcy Moore 9, Nakia Cockatoo 10, and the Doug Man at 11.
So there were some good picks there.
Yeah.
For Heaney at 18. There's certainly some names that are like, whoa, I kind of remember these guys.
Yeah.
Whoa, who's Pat McKenna from GWS?
Pat McKenna.
No.
GWS or Essendon?
Unless he got moved to GWS, but...
The only
unless
McKenna
he
I
got moved to
remember.
Essendon, he got drafted by GWS.
Never a good time when you don't even remember the guy that was drafted.
Mate,
draft.
what about this one? Dylan Viojo Rainbow.
Yeah, he went to Carlton.
Yeah.
He was.
Never heard of him. Took at 29. What a steal.
He took your draft as well.
Yeah.
Why do I think he's like really old?
Guy's got a lot of
He's
hair.
just a really mature looking dude.
Yeah, real mature and played a heap of games. He's played like 120 odd, 30 odd games, I reckon, took. And he's a captain, so.
Great to go back and look at some other drafts. So, back in 2015, Jacko, you played 10 of the first 11 games and then 2 late games. I think you played the last home and away game before finals. What was that like from memory? Was it always... Did you think you were on the cusp of playing that first qualifier against the Hawks at home?
Well, I don't probably did at the time, maybe, but I don't think I would have. I think our backline then was pretty experienced and it was pretty
Sharrod
handy.
playing back there as well?
I think Sharrod just got moved, like throughout the year, got moved back there, and I think he might have got injured, and then he was coming back.
Yeah,
so
okay,
then
gotcha.
I played that week, and then he'll play in the finals. But yeah, it was emergency all that through that final series, and
Been emergency twice. In
And then we did it
2015,
again 2018 together, you and I.
yes, yeah, we did. So yeah, I've done the emergency stint a fair few times.
Best memory from grand final commiseration celebrations from both years combined that you can tell on air?
From both,
From
or
either.
do you want 2015 one? Because the one we
Whatever.
lost and everyone was sad and grumpy, and then who came? Scott Selwood came up to me and started ripping all my buttons off my suit. So then I thought it was a good idea to go start ripping buttons and go up to Matt Prittis and rip his buttons. That was a scary moment in my life.
Oh my God. I can't
Ripping
even
off
imagine.
Matt
Post-grading.
Prittis, like this is like 19-year-old me, like played a few games thinking I'm going all right, and going up to Pritter and going, hey, that shirt looks nice, and
What do you
ripping
say?
his buttons off. By then he didn't really care. I don't think. I thought
He was pretty done with the day.
Yeah,
Just get me to bed.
yeah.
Saw a pretty stat recently. So Parrish's first half of footy when he had 30 touches,
Yeah, that's a fair few touches. in
Pritter
half.
was on that list of...
Yeah, I saw that as well.
What, he's had
actually,
30
yeah.
and a half?
yeah, Parrish did. You guys
No,
were...
did Pritis have 30 and a half
He had
before?
29, I think. I think he just edged him out. 28
Right.
or 29 touches to half time.
That's a month's worth of footy, that is.
Yeah, because I've got the game here. So it was 2016 round 1 against the Lions. Had a fair game. We've kicked 26 goals. Old mate Pritter had it 43 times. JK's kicked 8 of the best.
Oh my god,
It was just a great day. I don't remember too much of it, but some pretty cool times.
Nice.
cool times.
Yeah.
You reckon?
All right, Jackson Nelson.
Yes.
Uh,
Thumper.
I created something out of sheer boredom and entertainment at the same time. You're probably renowned as a teammate's teammate or a good gel within the playing group. So I wanted to ask you something that's going to give out some information of the squad, and you'd be a great litmus test to give the appropriate answer as to some of these ones.
Okay.
All right. You have absolutely no knowledge of what's going on, and Oscar's
No.
reading it for the first time.
No, I read this. I know those.
You can bring whatever you were going to do after
I've
this.
got a segment at the end which Jacko knows is coming because it happens whenever he goes on anything. But you start us
Yeah,
off.
Roger. Who's single in the playing group?
Oh, not many.
Not many. Oh, that's what I mean. I figured it'd be few and far between.
Let's see. Jake Waterman.
Yep. This is for the fans. Like the
Jake
fans want to
Waterman,
know when they see these boys
Jake
out.
Waterman. Yep.
Yep, he's available.
Campbell Chesser.
Yeah, the
There are a
chess,
couple of big names.
the
there
chess
that
man's
really go hard.
I'd say the line behind Chess is going to be a bit longer than the Snake. Is that a fair call?
No, don't worry about the Snake, mate.
He gets it done.
He gets it done. I don't know if he gets it done's the way to describe it.
Just the two
He's
players
just-
then?
No, Pat Nash, he's pretty happy with himself at the moment.
Yep.
So if you ever have him on this podcast will probably go for 3.5 hours.
Will he be entertainment? Do you recommend doing that?
Yeah, he'll be.
He'll have some interesting stories.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'd actually be all right. He'd offer a bit. Who else? Bunger.
Yep.
Rep Bazo.
Yep.
A lot of the younger boys.
Yeah, Jack Williams.
Who's the oldest guy then? Bunger. But like, who's next? Seniority. Is it Jake?
No, it'd be yourself.
Oh, I reckon it'd be. Yeah, it used to be Hutchie. Hutchie was
Yeah,
my only
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
We never really quite knew about Hutchie. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's me, yeah.
Who hosts the best gatherings or parties? So if some player was like, I'm doing something, like I'm going to have everyone around, I'm going to have something, who do you want that to be or where do you want that to be?
It's certainly not Oscar because he refuses to have anyone around to his house. And you've said this that you never want people around at your house.
That is simply
because
not
you don't
true.
want to deal with it. Matt, you've told me this in confidence, but now I'm bringing it to air.
Perfect.
Who's a good...
It's just nice.
Anyway, you'd
It's
be a
just-
terrible host.
It's just nice to not have to do all the cleaning up the next day when everyone's home.
so what I said is true.
Also, I'm out the ways. I'm the furthest northerner,
No,
and I'm the
you're
furthest
not.
away from the city.
Josh Rotham, he lives in Padbury, which is a long way away from
yeah.
you. It's a long way away from
Can we
anyone.
answer the
And
question?
he
Can we answer
had-
the question?
Were you part of that young group that lobbed, where you guys were in charge of the no ice and warm to like one of those gatherings?
No, that was my first year, and that
full
was
me.
that was after our marquee day.
Were
our
you
biggest
culpable?
training.
Were you culpable to this?
No, this is my first year. I had no idea.
Just a follower at that
stage. No, it was Scott Selwood, Scott Lysett, Simon Tunbridge, Jamie Cripps, all the brain
Cripper.
struts.
Brain trust.
yeah, the real brainiacs. But to answer, go back to the question.
Yeah, just not Oscar.
Who's a good host? Actually, Dom Sheed's probably got the best house for it.
Where's he pimped out, suburb-wise?
He's in Kensington. He's got a nice backyard.
Yeah, that'll do. All right.
Doesn't mind having the boys over, unlike some people.
I like
in
Ross'
this-
backyard. Ross is good.
Ross is good.
Ross
yeah,
is
that's
good.
because it's close to your house as well, mate.
Ross-
yeah,
Ross-
convenience for Oscar.
Cheap Uber for you.
Ross is good.
Yeah.
All right, who's going to an open mic night, stand-up comedy and not getting booed off stage? Like, who could just pass? Who could wing it and pass?
Man.
Gov.
Man, I reckon that's one of the hardest things to do
I know.
in society, going to that thing.
Gov would be up there, I reckon. He can really bring in a story and kind of laugh his way through the story, and you just get infected by the laugh.
Love it.
Best storyteller going around. Gov.
Yeah, he's great.
Excellent.
So probably Gov.
Who's doing a Jack Rewald at our next grand final victory and getting up on stage and just rocking out with the band? And you're like, oh,
No, it would not be me. I would never do that.
Oh, don't you?
No, well,
Don't come on this podcast and sell yourself as this
Sorry,
different bloke that
It's,
you are
it's
not.
the other way.
It would
You're
be
coming
you.
on this podcast. I don't
No,
know.
on your podcast.
I wouldn't do that. I would never do that.
Oh, all right.
Who would it
I'll
be?
give
Who
you
would
a
it be?
different one. Probably Tommy Cole.
Yeah, Coley would.
Coley would.
Coley
You would
seems
want
quite-
to.
I would want to, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have the. I wouldn't have the confidence to do that.
would you
Oh,
be flat
that's
at?
such a lie.
Would you be flat at Coley when he does it?
No, I love it.
No, you
But
would
it
be
depends
flat.
who it
You'd be
is.
flat that it's not you up there singing.
It depends who the band is as well.
Oh, so
Taylor
it's-
Swift screamer.
Yeah, that's me then.
You do the next one then.
Ooh, it's a weird one. Whose preseason program would you hate doing the most?
Preseason program.
So that incorporates anything like from amount of food intake to the amount of Ks you got to run to your gym lifting program.
I reckon you'd hate doing like a
Don't know.
JK program because your strengths are running and your weaknesses are in the gym. And I reckon JK does very little running and heavy gym weights in the off season.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of you,
That's
isn't
me.
it?
Well,
Yeah.
I run a bit more, but than JK does.
Again, coming on this podcast and telling people things that you don't
Have you
do.
been lying to me for 6 weeks?
Mate,
have you?
I guarantee you.
You run a little bit. You don't run a lot.
Yeah, I don't run when the preseason starts, but in
Yeah.
the off season I run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because you feel guilty after the.
I run in the off season, and then my body's broken for the preseason, so I can no longer run.
Great tactic, Oz.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on from that one. That wasn't my best one. There's 11, so we'll get there. Who's having the most successful career post-footy? you can measure that in wealth or, would you say Will Schofield's had the most successful? No. So maybe not just fame and having your face out there. If you're a real estate agent and you're on 20 bus stops, I'm not counting it. Let's talk a little bit of finance in there.
Probably Gov. Gov's got a plumbing business that he's turning into an electrical concreting business. But I tell you what, I dropped TV home yesterday, Tommy Barras, and for those that know him, he's a heavy, deep thinker and he's studying philosophy at the moment.
He's got some plans, has he?
Oh my God. Our conversation went from general chit-chat banter between two mates to deep philosophy into religious, spiritual, what is the meaning of theories and all this. And I was like, wow. And he's like, if I can get into a business, I'll be able to. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
He's like, this bus stop's fine. This bus stop's fine.
Yeah, get off now.
I'll walk the rest. It's fine.
Yeah.
I reckon Bung would be successful.
Bunga's just got heaps of money under his mattress.
Everyone loves Bung as well. You couldn't, he could go to any workplace and just be like, yeah.
Yeah,
just
I can say that.
Find his way.
Yeah.
He reads the room really well.
I have a theory.
Okay, go on.
I have a theory Bung wasn't that keen to go on coast to coast because he heard us out Pritter's hair last week and
he doesn't want his secrets to come out?
He's backing his boy. Massive Pritter fan. Just no, if that's how you're going to treat Pritter on this show.
I've got to be honest with you boys. He's no way he's listening to you two dribble.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I think that'd be deep down his priorities.
These fishing trips, you need a bit of time by yourself, coast to coast in the air while you.
He's a big reader. He reads the paper. He's a get on the plane.
Well, Oscar's on the maybe I should let some of your comments through and he can read you on the back page then, mate.
Exactly. All right. Who's the next senior coach from the playing list, do you think? Who is going to go, coaching is me after footy?
And I want the worst coach out of the playing list too as well. Best and worst.
But probably Bunga would be the best, I think. Whether he wants to do it or not, I think he would be the best. His knowledge and understanding of the football is great. How he sees the game, how he communicates with players. And he has this weird ability to connect with the younger boys as well. I don't know how he does it, but he's a 35-year-old guy that came from a farm and he connect with a guy like, Campbell Chester or Rhett Bazzo. Him and Rhett Bazzo get along really well, but he has this ability to connect and get a message across in a kind of forceful way, but also have that good relationship with the player. The worst?
Cripper?
Oh, yeah, he'd be up there, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He just would get so frustrated if someone's not...
I'll tell you what, could you imagine Liam Ryan being your coach as well?
Liam would tell it how it is.
Yeah.
But
Jake Waterman also would be a little bit of a... He's studying teaching. Jake Waterman's studying
Jake Waterman would give far better quarter-time addresses than what Cripper's... If Cripper has to get up there and talk, for an extended period, he'd get a bit lost.
Rothy would be pretty funny. He'd be a boys' coach.
Yeah.
The game plan would be non-existent. It'd be go out there and play, and we'll have beers after the game. But yeah, so there's a couple for you.
Who's the biggest liability on the footy trips?
Saying true.
Yeah, he was really poor.
This
is Kalgoorlie.
Oscar was actually quite good. Yeah, Kalgoorlie.
What do you mean actually? Why is this all... They aren't about me.
Well, I've got to go with someone on this podcast and I can't be bothered going with Thumper. Thumper's been looking the same since I've been at the football club. Has not changed the goatee, grey hair.
Do you shave your beard ever or does it just stay the same?
No,
I
got to trim it. I've put on no
size. As if it's such a hard thing for you to do, I've got to trim it.
Yeah. I can't be bothered doing it, but...
Anyway, back to the question.
Yeah. I'd be amazing on footy trips, by the way. Absolutely amazing.
You were good?
Yeah.
Where did North Beach used to go?
Just be at the club rooms for 4 days, celebrating flags.
That's a good trip.
Didn't need to go anywhere. Yep. We were the holiday.
Man, mate.
Yep.
Who else is pretty liability? There's a few liabilities. Lukey Edwards got a worst on, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have daily worst on?
A lot of the young boys.
Yeah, they just can't hack it these days, these young kids.
I've got confidence in this 2022 draft year of Rhett Bazzo and Campbell Chester. I've got some faith in those boys.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so last teammate you want to go into the octagon with. I know this is a quick quiz that we've done. I want the person that you want to be facing in the octagon and the last person you'd want to face in the octagon. Gun to head.
Oh. Imagine Nick in the octagon with you. 100 and whatever kilos of big human.
Let me change the answer then. Pound for pound-ish,
Change the answer. Change the question, mate.
Sorry.
You're giving me 4 about my poor intros, and now you're going.
Hang on. So when you say, sorry, let me. See,
I'm better at this stuff, aren't I?
Let me understand this. So when you say
pound for pound,
you're really bad at my questions and answers. You're talking about you reading off a teleprompter next door.
Yeah,
and you can't read words off a teleprompter. compared to me like thinking on the fly.
I know that I have mild
Dyslexia.
Yeah.
Is this why there's been so much angst once I've walked into the room? You two have had a tough morning
Jacko
before
blames
this.
me for these pathetic script reads he's got to do. I'm simply the messenger. I hold a camera and Jacko's cooking me like I'm the brains behind this operation.
Right.
I'm like, Jacko, I'm not your punching bag here, bros.
Quick diversion. Who's the 3 worst of the football club players-wise at reading the prompters, which is super simple to
We
do?
haven't done it enough, but if you said to me who are the 3 worst players for doing like media stuff with, like, Cripper's up there, man. Cripper should win because of just time spent at the club, the amount of times he's had to do stuff like this. He's not improving. He's
going backwards.
He's plateaued.
JK doesn't like doing stuff with your hair.
I'll put but when JK's there and he's rolling, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
But the amount of like pushback I get from JK, it's no good.
No good.
No good.
You
Anyway.
don't even come to me anymore because I'm so bad, which is really
No, but like you're mid tier. That shows where we're at as a club right now. So Octagon,
Octagon.
Nick,
Pound for
but
pound.
like pound for pound, who fears you? Who do
It's
you
like
fear? a bit?
Bunger in my pound for pound, or not really?
Yeah, Bunger, man. Bunger is so strong.
So strong.
Yeah.
Like, has like that farmer strength and these big legs, just strong. He'd be scary.
Jack Darling would be scary.
Jack Darling, yeah.
All right, who would you want to take on? You're like, yeah, no dramas. Put me in there with him. I'm comfortable for the W.
Lukey Edwards.
Petch. For me.
Petch. Oh, yeah, he'd be squirmy. You're real squirmy.
Yeah, that's right.
Weasel.
Real fast, yeah.
and squirmy.
You wouldn't be able to
Whereas
grab him.
Lukey talks like this and he kind of like not that scary. Because like, I just like to hang out with my mates. It's like a lisp that's not a lisp, and it's like he just like hasn't hit puberty yet. Like, what's happening with his
It
voice?
reminded me that have you been to Staples Center and watched LA play basketball in your
Not
time?
live, nah.
The guy that they've got doing the court announcing has the biggest lisp ever in professional announcement. And you'd think like Staples Center, so prestigious.
Crypto Center now, mate.
Crypto Center, and like he's like number 76 for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Steven Silvani. I was like, wow. Okay. Anyway, Jacko, personal level, who are you going on a year-long trip with to South America? I've picked South America strategically because like you might get into some trouble down there. It's not all above board sailing. So you want someone that you can have amazing banter, get along with, but when your backs are against the wall, there's a bit of trouble, you can rely on them as well.
Oh, I'd probably take 3. Does it have to be one? Is it just one bloke that I'm taking?
Yeah.
But like I've got multiples.
He's got multiple mates.
I've got a lot of
Sorry,
mates.
mate. It's the game. Play along.
Oscar probably wants me to take him.
No, I would think.
I'd
Not
rather
for this
not
buddy.
take
You've
Oscar.
plotted him all out.
I reckon you'd take Coley.
Yeah, I'll take Coley, yeah.
Yep.
I'll take Coley, yeah.
He's got some street smarts and he's the easiest bloke to get along with. Like, you would never
Yeah.
get bored.
That'll work. All right, Oscar, what do you got?
So, Jacko, you and me had a conversation yesterday in the showers when we...
Sorry, what?
Yeah, we were butt naked in the showers talking.
What did you used to do when you showered?
Yeah.
Did you,
You
used
would
to
wear-
shower
you
in
would wear
boardies or
jocks.
something? Or
Carry on with the question.
Anyway, and we had a conversation and we actually talked about Hamish and Andy podcast. And we said they've got their special skills. And I said to you, I'm worried about messaging in and saying I've got someone who has a special skill because I just know they'd never respond to me. So, your special skill is knowing the AFL players' boots, right?
yes.
It's something we've talked about a lot.
Thing that gets brought up on every single one of these podcasts. But
However,
It's because you're not offering much else, to be fair.
whack.
I've offered more banter than anyone else on this podcast, let's be honest. Like, if you had Yoey here, it'd be like personal attacks, you go home crying.
Yo, he was actually pretty good banter last week.
Oh, I'm a better contested mark than you. No, you are the better
Mate, I
contested mark.
had some of your teammates potting me going, Thumper, that contested mark convo was,
Yeah,
was
mate.
poor.
Yeah,
It was so
that
poor.
was the. It's been a tough
And
week
Oscar
for me.
like just puts his hands up like I had nothing to do with that. That was
I
all
did. It
Yoey.
was Stumper's idea.
It was Stumper's idea. Like,
So a fan asked it. And you,
Yeah, a fan asked it.
What you deliver is what you deliver. I can't control how good you are at it.
Anyway, so my promise to you here: I've got 7 players. If you get all
Yeah.
7, I'm going to try and get.
You know my rules and regulations around this skill because people come up to me and they give me
So-
some rookie that played 5 years ago and I'm like, what the?
So, the rules: current player in the AFL,
Yeah,
and they've played over 20 games,
yeah.
and none of these players are in their first or second years.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Happy with the criteria?
Yeah, I could, yeah.
If you get 7 for 7, I will message the Hamish and Andy podcast and try to get us on. It won't work because I've got very little pull, but I'll
Is
give
this
it my
us?
best.
Is it a package deal?
It's a package deal.
Jeez.
Jacko,
Under the pump now.
it goes from easiest to hardest.
Okay.
The first three, like if you don't get, you get punched by Thumper. Number one,
Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh, gee. Here comes that wet towel. Ugh.
Dustin Martin,
Dustin Martin, Nike Tiempos.
Andy Brayshaw,
Nike Tiempos.
Harris Andrews,
Are they all going to be the same boot, Oscar?
Harris Andrews,
ASIC testimonials.
Colour?
Black one.
black. He started off.
Do you do
very
this on
well.
purpose now? Do you feel like you've got a reputation to uphold and you're like,
While watching footy, he's just looking at Blake's
he's just
feet.
like, someone's going to ask me.
If anything, it's like embarrassing almost that you're known for like, oh, you have like a foot fetish. It's like, no, I don't have a foot
you
fetish.
said it, mate.
No, that's what you were going for, and I'm not having it.
All right. Currently, one of the more informed players in the competition, Ben Keys.
Ben Keys is a ASIC testimonial.
They're colourful, aren't they?
What colour?
Black
They're yellow or something?
with yellow, bright yellow.
Yeah, they are black and yellow.
Right.
But
I'll give- no-
they're all black
We're
with
allowed
yellow.
to ask questions here, Jacko.
Yeah, but don't put me in doubt. I don't like when you do that.
Don't
do that.
doubt
Don't
me.
just if I'm right, I'm right.
Another informed younger player, Dylan Moore.
Oh, I haven't watched much.
And the colour isn't relevant because it's the same brand of boot, but he wears different colour pretty
I
often.
haven't watched Hawthorn at all this year.
I know.
How do you know that I haven't watched them? I'm going to keep moving in and out and make Thumper keep.
I can come back to that one. I've got two others, and we can leave it on a cliff.
Dylan Moore. Man, that's a tough one.
I'll leave it with you. We'll come
Yeah.
back to that one.
Yeah.
Willem Drew,
Willem Drew.
Port Adelaide midfielder.
Willem.
Troubling signs, Thumper.
Yeah,
Drew. He got red
finally
hair.
stumped.
Yeah, the red hair midfielder. He's like plays as a tagger.
He
Kind of.
wears white boots. I know that.
Yeah, he does.
Is he like a? I feel like he's a concave kind of guy.
Unfortunately, that's your first strike. He is an Asics Tigreal kind of man. Okay.
Oh, because he's such a relevant player for me at the moment.
Shade.
I know, he is. I'm disappointed in myself. This is not throwing shade on him. He killed us on the weekend. So
You did. Okay. This is
back to the books,
this
mate.
is a tough one. I get his last name confused. Jack Mahoney plays for North Melbourne. He's number one.
See, North Melbourne, Hawthorn.
You just don't see much of them.
I
You don't watch enough of
I
them?
just don't watch. I haven't watched that much footy this year. So
That was going to be one of my questions to you. It's funny to find out how much footy other AFL players. I remember talking to Eric McKenzie one day. He goes, I can't think of anything worse than watching other games of footy.
When I'm playing, I hate it. Like, you can't watch it.
Yeah,
But
it's crazy.
especially when you're going poorly as well, you kind of just like, watch
This
another game
again.
of footy.
Yeah.
Like, see, what's he wear?
do you want to
See,
hit?
like I just haven't watched them. So
It's the
yeah,
white-
give
it's
us
the
a
white-
hint.
It's
Give
the
me a
white
hint.
flag.
It's the same boot that I wear.
Oh, it's a Nike Tiempo.
Yes. If you can get this Dilmore one right, I'm not
Is he
giving you
like a Mizuno or something like that?
Dilmore.
Yeah.
No, but I'll let you have one
Got
more.
Mizuno golf clubs. They do boots.
That's it.
I do.
Last one. If you can get Dilmore, I'll reach out. What boots does he wear? No hints.
Dilmore.
Yep.
Is he Adidas something? Adidas. Oh, Adidas. Not. He's not Copas. He's the other ones. What are they? What are they called?
Flip a coin, bros.
What are they called?
He wears Adidas Predators.
Oh,
I thought you were going to get it when you said it was Adidas.
Spewing, eh? Hamish and Andy next year.
5 out of 7, you've done well. It's clear that the younger players are your downside because you haven't seen them as much.
yeah.
But still, impressive.
I can do
nonetheless.
everyone on the list just like bang, 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 bang.
All right, go-
bang, because
go-
I was doing
Nah, don't. That's what.
Okay, right. Jack Williams.
Jack Williams, ASIC Tigreal black with red. I can tell you colour, type, what the most recent is.
Do players switch between boots? though?
Yeah, like TK bought out these new burgundy coloured Nike Tiempos, and I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Look at them.
They're nice. Hey.
All right. I've got some fan questions for Jacko,
Oh, this would be good.
and then we're going to get out of here. You got anything else before we leave, Oz?
I don't, mate. You go.
Yeah, what have I got here? That Freo have never sat 15 spots higher than West Coast on a ladder. Obviously, there've been 16 teams for a very long time, so that stat is skewed with the expansion teams. But this is the first time ever Freo's been this far ahead of us. Joy. Boot updates, we've done that. NBA fans, done that. Yeah, we're done there. So we're on to fan questions. So,
Oh, this will be great.
Jackson, Question from Liv Floro. What's your favourite thing about Oscar?
I'm actually going to get some positive reinforcement from Jackson today. Has to be something positive.
Has to be something positive. See, the only reason I don't give you positive reinforcement is because I need to bring you down from your ivory tower that you live in. Positive reinforcement. Aussie's always
getting an invite to.
Aussie's always good value from like beer 8 to beer 12, and then after that he's
Cactus.
Terrible. Cactus. There's a sweet spot there.
It's always good to catch up with Aussie for a beer. There you go.
That is actually a good one. Thank you.
What was the best game of your career from Ethan Horsley? You remember what the best game of your career was?
Best game? Probably Port Adelaide last year. I think I played all right that game.
Yep.
Other than that,
what was your role that day?
Just play.
Yep.
So
just be you. Be yourself.
Just be normal, not play on someone all day.
Miss Cheshire, say that. Who's the best looking in the team?
Campbell Cheshire.
Best looking?
Yep.
Yeah, Campbell. Yeah, we'll go with Campbell.
Who was it then? Who's he superseded?
Well, I feel bad because my mate Duggo has just been tossed aside.
Yeah, he's
just poor Duggo.
You know, Duggo doesn't help himself.
He's got knobbly knees, but like
he's got very low self maintenance. The Doug man, like walking out of bed,
he's given up.
He's he's just a satisfied man. He's happy with where he is in life.
Oscar's pretty flat out. He didn't get a mention there as well.
Yep.
Neil will be next time. You got something, or were you looking at your phone for?
Mate, I'm just looking at some of the questions that have been sent in, and very few questions. However, I've got a lot of suggestions of who to have on the podcast next, so I wouldn't mind you two coming to an agreement who should be out. So some suggestions. I've had Gaffy. I've had Brady Hoff. Bunger. That's never happening in the world. Another Gaffy. I have a Gov. I also think Gov will be tough to get on. Tommy Cole.
Willie? Gov can promote all his businesses on here. I'll let him too.
That's true. Tommy Cole, Jakey Waterman, Willie Rioli, Connor West.
What do you think Willie will be like?
I think Willie would be an interesting talk.
Yeah.
A really interesting talk.
Yeah.
Another Gov. Hugh Dixon is another shout.
Yeah, Hugh Dixon.
Well, who do you two think we should get on next week?
Whoever says yes to me in the change room, so the day before I offer throw out the line.
Can we come up with a name?
Yeah, I don't think people were going in like, yes, let's get Jacko Nelson on. Yes. Like, I don't think I ever would have come up on that.
Well, I think you've got an interesting story though.
Yeah, because
because you've played 100 games.
Let me get this one, Jacko, because I don't think this will be any shock to you saying this. This is from Jamie Sienemeyer. Can you speak on the impact of being, at times the Eagles whipping boy? On social channels, which we've spoken about before, with disgruntled fans on their knowledge of the game, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I think you're a hard-working, hard-nosed role player whose strategic impact is underplayed and underappreciated.
Wow.
Does this unfair criticism affect your confidence or create a burning desire to continue to play your role, knowing that the only people's opinions that matter are the coach and your teammates?
Who?
Jamie Sienemeyer.
Jamie. Thank you, Jamie, for the message. That was very nice. But, yeah, I think he kind of nailed it there. It doesn't really matter what other people think about my game. If the guys that I'm playing with and the coaches are respecting what I'm doing, then I don't really... people are allowed to have their opinion. Like, they can have their opinion on me as a footballer or as a bloke or whatever they want. But if I don't have the respect of the guys that I'm playing with, then I'd be more upset and probably more like, I've got to change something. But your random punter who's sitting on his Instagram or on Facebook just punching out whatever comes to his head, does not faze me whatsoever.
Do they send you messages? Do people send you messages directly or do they tag names? I don't really know how it works.
Yeah, I think mine are probably a bit different to what Oscar probably cops the betting ones, and I cop just the general you suck kind of. Yeah.
Do you read them? Do you delete them? What do you do?
I just delete them, yeah. Sometimes just read them for a laugh. And
it's always good when you're having a couple of beers, you're looking back at him, you're like, this guy told me I was the worst player, said, whatever.
If they put some effort into it, you kind of look at their profile and then you go through and you're like, oh my God, thank God I'm not this guy. And I will never be that guy potting AFL blokes just because, I can because I have social media.
Yeah, don't rate it. Got a Connor West and a Zach Langdon request to come on.
Yeah. Westy's got a bit to him. Yeah, he doesn't get much airtime, does he, old Westy?
I'll lock it in. We'll get Connor West on. I played footy with him since I was 14 years old. Came up all through all the academies together at West Perth. send in your questions to Thumper and myself or the West Coast Eagles Instagram page and we'll have them on next week.
Yeah.
But on what
So that was from Tom Monero wants Campbell Chesser on. I think we'll wait later in the year till that was on, but that's from Connor James. So well on Connor James. We're going to get the West man on.
So on that last question that Jacko answered, it is interesting because people have so much to say about this, that and the other, but like at the end of the day, and I know you never respond to anyone because like the worst thing you can do is like respond to someone, like get in an argument with someone, but like at the end of the day, as we said, you're 5 games off playing 100 games and these guys will get nowhere near sniffing an AFL field. So that pretty much says it all.
Yeah. I don't... You sometimes think that, but I think at the end of the day, like, people are allowed to have an opinion
No, they are, yeah.
of your game and of how you play, and a lot of people are able to voice them. You know, the media do it every day, and there's all these guys that get... And then people form their opinions off those opinions. They don't actually go and sit there at a game and watch what you do. Like, they don't watch, like, where you run, why you're running that way, why you're getting the ball there, why you're not getting the ball. So those people that sit there and watch you and follow you personally probably have more of a stance. And if they say, like, came to the game and watched you today and you didn't go hard enough in that effort, and you probably will sit back and go, yeah, I probably agree with you. But some of the things that they come up with is like, get better at kicking, and like there might be 4 guys on me, I'm just snapping one over my shoulder and then it just goes up in the air and it's like, well, you know, learn how to kick. And it's like, you know, like, you don't know, like, you don't understand the pressure or anything, and you don't know that I've done 5 at different efforts and then had to go there. So I think, yeah, and people are entitled to their opinions. Keep messaging me, go for it. I'm going to sit back and laugh at them probably over a scotch, or usually a scotch after a game if we've lost. Maybe a nice wine if we win. But
Very well put, Jacko. And you're always welcome on this podcast, mate. Good luck for...
Podcast?
Yeah,
Podcast?
that one
Yeah.
too. That one too. Good luck for Friday night.
Podcast.
I'll be leaving at halftime regardless, so don't take it personally when you see
Are
me.
you taking your son again?
Yeah, we'll go for round 2.
Hopefully it goes better this time.
Sucker for punishment, I am, but we'll go.
Back us in, mate. We'll be right.
Mate, he's 6. He needs to go to bed. I got to leave at halftime regardless. So I hope I'm sad about leaving.
When I was 6 and I used to go to the footy.
Times were different back then, Russ.
What do you mean? Times are not different.
Times are different. Times are different.
Well, you got somewhere to be. You got a PlayStation tournament
I
to
can't
play.
wait till you have children, Jacko. It'd be so great.
You know what? You are starting to sound more and more like Scully. You cannot wait. Like, you do a perfect Scully impersonation. Like, I know you spend a lot of time.
Mate. What? I reckon Free are going to win flag. What? They're not playing good enough. Nah, good. As long as I'm not looking like him,
man.
that's fine.
Volume control.
Sorry, bros, but thanks for coming in.
No,
and
thank you.
try and get better at your community script reads because you were abhorrent this morning. Absolutely abhorrent.
Good word.
Yeah, it's a nice
Did you look
one.
that up before you?
I went to Hale. I'm well educated.
Oh, that explains it.
We'll leave that there.
Anyway, thank you for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Jacko,
Cheers.
Oscar, thanks.
See you
See
later.
ya.